Welcome to the Misquamicut Beach Podcast, a podcast spotlighting the businesses, newsmakers, events, and memories of Rhode Island's historic Misquamicut Beach.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Misquamicut Beach Podcast. I am your host and the producer of the show, Ben Barber. Today, I am joined by Linda Ravenelle, the director of the Tourist Center. How are you, Linda?
Hi, well, thank you.
Thank you for joining me in this day after a snowstorm.
All right.
How did you get affected by that?
Well, I work at school, so we ended up having a snow day, kind of a rain day, but a snow day because it was a hard call to make, but, you know. So, and so now we have everybody walking around going, summer, we want summer.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody listening to this show who's a fan of Misquamicut Beach, I'm sure can't wait for summer.
Exactly.
So you're the director of the Tourist Center.
Right.
So can you tell me a little bit about how long you've been there?
Well, I joined the MBA a couple years ago. This is going into my third summer at the Tourist Center. And so I basically, so I work at school. So I was looking for employment for summer. And so this opportunity happened to come along, and friends that told me about it said, oh, that's just what you like to do. You like people. And because I used to work weddings, I used to have a bit of a wedding business at one time. And so I thought, oh, let me check into that. If I gotta work summer, being at the beach with some tourists isn't a bad gig, actually. So that I kind of, contacted Caswell, and it all worked out. And so that's kind of how I started, really.
That's awesome. And so you're third year, so you like it, obviously.
I do. Yeah. I like it a lot.
Now, where is the Tourist Center? If somebody's listening to this show and all they know, what was something that we keep talking about is people think Misquamicut Beach and they think State Beach parking lot.
Oh, right.
And that's it.
Right. Yeah.
So where is the Tourist Center?
Actually, most people would have to go by the State Beach parking lot a little bit. We are on Atlantic Avenue. We are right next door to the water slide and right across the street from the Atlantic Beach Park, actually.
Okay. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do there? Like, what can people get if they come to the Tourist Center?
Right. Well, we have facilities there. So we have the bathroom facilities, and we also have, it's like a 15-minute stop or, thereabouts for people who want to come in and also check out the businesses in the area. We have brochures, menus, and I'm there. I'm there to help direct whatever you need. We have maps for, many people come in wanting to know, how do I get from here to Watch Hill? Or some people want to head to Newport for the day from leaving us. And so we, if you've got a question and it's about Misquamicut, we could probably answer it for you.
What's the number one question people come in with at the Tourist Center?
Our biggest questions have to do with parking. A lot of people,
of course they do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like you said, a lot of people don't realize there's much more to us than just the Misquamicut State Beach parking lot. We have a ton of other smaller areas. We have many more businesses, other parking areas. So a lot of times I will get calls about parking there. That would be one call. And another thing I get a lot of calls about is our DriveIn feature. That's actually quite popular with a lot of the families.
Of course it is. How could a drive-in at the beach not be popular?
There you go. It's really nice because people get to come down for that. You get to come early, pick out a spot early, and you could be there as early as 6:30, and the movie may start at 9. So in that time, you can have a spot. You can, run over to Dusty's for an ice cream or go walk the beach for a little bit. There's a lot you can do in that time while you wait for the movie.
And the drive-ins have expanded, haven't they, in the last year? Like, I think I remember talking to Caswell about them being more frequent or longer in season or something?
Yes, we go right through. Oh gosh, I'm not looking at the current schedule, but I think it was till the beginning of October.
Awesome.
And we start earlier, and then even in the height of it, the season, we have like Thursdays and Fridays where there are showings.
Okay, and for a full list, you can check that out on Misquamicut.org.
Absolutely.
And of course on the Misquamicut Beach Facebook page.
Absolutely.
So what's your favorite thing that you've helped somebody with at the tourist center? Not necessarily like, it doesn't have to be one amazing story of somebody that got lost and or anything, but like what's your favorite thing to help people with, or your favorite thing about the tourist center?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's tough because there's so many things I really enjoy. I like just helping people realize there's more than they think there is in the area. So when we get talking, sometimes by what they're telling me they enjoy or they like to do, something will click and I'll be like, oh, did you know about this right here? You might want to check out. So to help people find some new things they didn't know was that were in the area is always fun.
Is there something that sticks out more than others that people get really excited about when they find out that it's there?
Ooh, wow. Good question. That's a tough one.
Or a few things even.
Well, some people come in and actually I get questions regarding, Watch Hill, trying to get there. So because they like to be in our area and then, filter down a little bit for something a little different. But I think, some of the biggest thing is seafood. Where is the best seafood? And of course we have like 3 or 4 of those places or more. So I try to figure out exactly what type they're looking for before I send them in a direction. Parking, can be an issue at times. So we're trying to get the word out about all the available parking that we really do have. So when I can help someone figure that out when they didn't know, oh, this is available here. Yes, yay. That's a big deal. So.
And that's the thing. When you go to Misquamicut Beach and you're trying to get into that one big parking lot, and there are, you pass a lot of places.
You do.
That say parking here.
Yes.
And those are great parking lots.
Yes.
That you park in, and then it's as long of a walk to the beach as it is in the parking lot, in the State Beach parking lot.
Really, that's the truth. That whole Atlantic Avenue section of that is just really all very walkable, very close, and a lot to do in that area.
And even when you're not in the big parking lot, you're closer to the businesses and the other fun opportunities.
Actually, yeah, we have the rides.
Yeah.
Down at Atlantic Beach Park, so that's very family friendly. We have the water slides right there. All the restaurants right around, and there's a choice of many different things.
Do you see a lot of kids that because I know, well, this is all right. Before I say this, where are most of the tourists coming from that come to Misquamicut?
Oh, excellent question. We get them from everywhere, but there's a vast majority from places in Massachusetts, farther parts away from Connecticut, New York. But that's not to say that we don't get them from farther out. Actually, this past season, I had probably 3 older couples that just decided, they didn't know each other. These were different situations where they just decided we're hopping in the car and we're driving till we drive. And I mean, one of those couples was from the Midwest. And when they pulled in, they had just kind of gotten into the state, came right to Misquamicut, and I was like, wow, you've been driving for how long and you're just getting out of your car now? So I mean, a lot of areas, but
we get spoiled living here.
We do.
We get very spoiled it's I had a family that came up a few years ago from Tennessee, and my cousin brought his girlfriend, and she had never seen the ocean. So I took her down to Misquamicut, and we were all just standing out there, and she was crying.
Aww.
And I was like, what's the big deal? You know? It really, so it didn't register to me at the time. This was, maybe 10 years ago. It didn't register to me at the time what a big deal it was to see something as beautiful as the surroundings that we're lucky enough to have here.
Exactly. And that kind of triggered a thought when you asked me some of the things that I enjoy helping people, find out or learn about the area. I have had that happen as well, where we've had people come through that just are not anywhere near the ocean and have just even stopped at the tourist center to go get a picture and look at it over the other side right across the street and then say, well, I'm going to come back, just because they were just passing through.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They never saw the ocean.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That cousin's, she was actually his wife. I'm sorry about that. But my cousin's wife was like, we're coming back to Rhode Island. It's the most beautiful place in the world. And I was like, what?
I know.
But I agree that it's beautiful, but that was that was a nice moment. So I always think about that, and I don't take it for granted anymore. Whenever I come down to the beach, it's always spectacular.
I understand because I'm from here. I grew up on these beaches. So I get that, I think there's been times I've taken it for granted myself. Actually, so to see it through all these other people's eyes sort of is exciting and renews that for you, and it makes me feel good that they feel good that they're doing something, that's making them feel good. They're on vacation,
and what a rewarding job to be the person that facilitates helping these people have those experiences.
And there's a lot of things that go into that as well, and I enjoy it. I've been able to help. I want to say there was a lady whose dad was handicapped, and they wanted to come down, and just having him have a place to park to be able to come down, experience the beach, and go to the restaurant for his birthday, and just to have someone that could help direct them and lend maybe even a physical hand, helping them with the logistics of everything, just so that this gentleman could experience that. That was quite nice too.
Wow, I never even I'm ashamed almost to say I've never really thought about the logistics of that. But that's really awesome that you were able to help out with a situation like that and really make some memories for those people. So you said that you grew up around here. Did you grow up in Westerly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I think we talked about that a little bit before we started the show.
Right.
So when did you first start coming to the beach? Are there any great memories that you have?
Let's see. I'm kind of old now, so let me think about that. Just as a kid, we would come as, just young kids always. In the summer, the beach was just part of one of the things we did. And then as I got older, into my teen years, I remember actually I had gotten a license when I was 16, but I didn't really have access to a car quite yet. When I got a little bit older, that came along. So I would just hop on my bike and ride right down to the beach all the time. And, I'd just kind of lock up my bike and go on the beach for the day and then head home.
That's awesome. I wish that I had taken advantage of the beach like that when I was younger. I said in the last episode, I never came to the beach really before high school, driving by it and stuff, but I never really spent any time there until high school. And then, lucky enough to do some things with the festivals later with Caswell. Right. Speaking of the festivals, I know that, you have an interesting thing. You were helping out with the festivals, but you have not yet
I haven't-
participated.
Correct. And I'm ashamed to say that. There's always seems to be something happening that I don't actually get down there, but I did help coordinate the workers one festival. And then because I had to miss, I popped right online. I'm like, oh, let me check the videos they took of that and, to check it out because it is a fun time, I've had friends that have come down and said that. So I try to get down. I try to do what I can, But yeah, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say.
So the tourist center is not open yet because the festivals, if you're unaware, if you're listening to this episode for the first time and you don't know that much about Misquamicut Beach, there are two festivals, a spring festival and a fall festival, aptly named Spring Fest and Fall Fest. You can find out more about those at misquamicutfestival.org. Now, they start the season and end the season.
Correct.
So is the tourist center open yet in mid Mother's Day weekend and then the weekend after Labor Day, is it?
Right.
The teens?
Right. Generally, our official opening really is that Memorial Day weekend. That's kind of the official opening for the tourist center. That's when I start, we're there.
And then Labor Day.
And actually, I'm there generally a week or two after that, depending on the weather. If the weather calls for it, I'm there because we still actually have events that go on. We have the marathon event, and there's still things going on right into October. So if we can keep the tourist center open for a little bit time after that, we try to do that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And when is the tourist center open during the busy season?
Pretty much all the time. The doors are always open, and we try to have it staffed just about every day, if possible. So that'll go right from May, like I said, right to September. And I'm generally there myself from about mid to late morning till afternoon. So and the doors are even open. So when I am not there or I leave for the day, the doors will still be open to the building so people can come on in and still get information and gather maps and things like that because the building itself stays open until the beach closes for, the end of the day.
Awesome. So what is your favorite, if you have one, if you can narrow it down to one, do you have a favorite memory of Misquamicut Beach? Could be when you were, coming here as a kid, or it could be since you've been working with the MBA and being the director of the tourist center. But is there anything that, 20 years from now when somebody says, hey, remember all the times that you spent at Misquamicut Beach that you're really gonna want to talk about?
Oh my goodness, that's a really good question. Well, I do have memories from my childhood, from my teenage years. The beach has always been, in one way or another, part of my life. And even when I was a young adult and we had some of those lounges and bars down here, oh my goodness, like the High Tide and the Blue Sands. I even came down back in those days. Whatever stage of life I was in, I always found a reason to be at Misquamicut for it. And I think personally, what I've seen the MBA do for Misquamicut has really been some really wonderful changes. It's become so family friendly, and with all these festivals, and there's just been so much that the MBA has brought to Misquamicut that I think is just fantastic. That I wish, too bad wasn't there when I was a kid, but nonetheless, Misquamicut has always offered something. I mean, hey, it's the beach, right? So I have seen all those changes come about, and I just think it gets better and better, really. And I do have some stories. You cannot work at a tourist center with the public and not have stories. Let me tell you some funny things. I'm all about humor. I love humor. So I like to approach my job with fun and humor. And to me, everybody's there to have fun and have a good time. So I like to incorporate a lot of that in dealing with people, and just from things from people where it was a one-time visit. And what I think is really nice now that I'm coming into my third season, towards the end of the season, the previous season, there's just regulars, our local regulars. Oh, we'll be looking for you next year. Will you be back next year? And that's really nice. That's a really nice feeling of community. So yeah, there's a lot. That's a hard question for me to answer, because I just love Misquamicut. I love the beach. I always have. So there's many things.
That's awesome. I was just noticing the drive-in poster with all of the information that we forgot to say earlier was right there.
Oh, right.
I'm not going to give it though. Go to misquamicut.org, because I'm not sure from as far away as I am right now. I'm not sure if that's for last year or this year.
I would have to look too.
Yeah,
yes,
I'm not sure.
I haven't seen the 2018 lineup as yet, but that'll all be coming down. I'm sure they're.
It's out. It's definitely out, and it's on the Facebook page.
Yeah. Yes, it is. That's right.
So I love that you love the tourists so much. Like I love that you have a joy for this area and your job that's infectious.
Oh, thank you.
And I that's great, and that's exactly the type of face that you want to see when you're coming here from out of town, because a lot of, as we've said on this show many times already in our third episode, that the beach is more famous for people that are not from this area than for the locals. So for those people that are coming here from out of town and driving hours to get here to see the awesome sights of Misquamicut and to spend, their time and their money relaxing with their family here, it's really important to have somebody who's a friendly face, who's knowledgeable, who's helpful and wants to be helpful and joyful in that spot, helping those people.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's what I try to be, because I really do enjoy it. I really do. Yeah. I've often said to Caswell, could I just do this job all year round? I wish if I could do it, that would be my pick.
That would be awesome. I'm sure that the other business owners down here would love if, people were here in the off season as well. But the beach never closes.
No,
really.
Not really.
The
no.
beach never closes. There's always businesses down here, and some of them are seasonal, some of them are not.
Correct.
So, where do you know how many businesses there are in Misquamicut?
Oh, I probably should be able to answer that with a number, but I don't have that number.
Well, I know that the MBA has businesses that are technically in Misquamicut because they're in the Misquamicut Fire District.
Right.
And businesses that buy into the business association.
Correct.
Who are associate businesses.
Yes.
And there's a full list for that on the website.
Yeah, we have a master list. I'm just not sure what that number is right now.
Right.
I'd have to look that up.
But but the whole purpose of the show and, a lot of what you do is just teaching people and informing people and letting them know there's more than just the sand and the beach and that parking lot. Like, there's a lot more. There's a lot of businesses. There's a lot of life down here.
Absolutely. Even not too far, I just learned myself that the Westerly Trust and Land Trust had these trails. And I actually learned things from people, that visit. I had a couple coming in asking about it. And I said, what? Wait a minute. Let me look that up. And I made a few phone calls and I said, you're right. And it's this and this. And then that led to me calling them, the land trust, and asking, could I please get some of your materials in here, your maps of your hiking trails and a little bit of information about your programs that you do. So it works that way too. Sometimes if I'm not sure of something that might be around or might be new that I haven't heard about yet. So
that's really awesome. Is there anything specifically new or any new initiative that the MBA is doing or that Misquamicut businesses are doing, just something that's happening in Misquamicut that you really want to plug, that you're excited about? It could be the festivals, it could be just the season for 2018, it could be the drive-in. You know, is there one thing that you're just like so excited and you can't wait for?
There, just for the season to begin, please. That's where my excitement lies, just to be able to get in there, open the doors, and start seeing everybody. Basically, all of it. And you never know what new things might be coming down the pike. However, I am, like everyone else, waiting to hear where Seafood Haven is going to be setting up shop next. I haven't heard as yet. So even if it's out there, I haven't heard yet. But I'm just excited for every season and whatever new things, because it's not just about us. It's about everyone that comes, too. That helps make it what it is. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me.
And this was a lot of fun. And hopefully, will you come back after the season's over and talk to me about all the crazy stuff that happened?
Oh, absolutely. Excuse me, my voice is going.
That's okay.
Absolutely. I do have some funny stories, I have to say.
Awesome. So, so we'll reconvene at the end of the season in September.
That'd be great.
And go through some stuff, and I'll go in and check out how the tourist center is going this summer. So thank you very much. If you like the show and you want more people to listen to it, you want to help us out, please like the show on Facebook. Please like Misquamicut Beach on Facebook. Please follow us. Please check out the businesses. Please leave a review and a comment on iTunes or wherever you're listening to this. Please share it with your friends and help get the word out, because we are going to have more interviews with business owners and people sharing fun memories at the beach and events that are happening. And we're gearing up for Springfest, which is going to open up the season in May. So we're really excited about all of this stuff. Thank you very much again, Linda.
You're welcome. Thank you, too.
All right. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yes.
For more information on the events and businesses in Misquamicut Beach, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and at Misquamicut.org.